Good morning. Welcome to Westside Unitarian Universalist Church, where compassion leads us to work for justice and equality. I am so glad you came today, and it is my hope you will find something here that nourishes your heart, feeds your mind, and grows your spirit. My name is Jana Francois Kennard, and I'm your worship leader this morning. Be you a spiritual seeker, an atheist, or a theist, Westside is a community of many beliefs, genders, and sexualities, a community of diverse cultural, racial, and class backgrounds, a community of varied abilities and gifts. Some here find inspiration in the great books, others in the great outdoors, and others still in great conversations. Whoever you may be, all are welcome in our inclusive congregation. To newcomers and old friends alike, together we say, welcome. At Westside, we are raising the next generation of Unitarian Universalists, and we want them to know that they are an important part of our community. Several years ago, we chose to be radically inclusive and to adopt a multi-generational worship where our services include all family members. So welcome to all children and youth of all ages. And y'all, our Westside community is moving and shaking. There are a number of announcements included in your order of service. So please take any of them with you that you might need for reminders this week or to share with others. But there are a couple I'd like to point out. So this evening, please join Diane Austin and me at Meditation Movie Night, where we'll be showing the documentary Mission Joy and Finding Happiness in Troubled Times, featuring the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Next Saturday is the UTA Native American Student Association's 28th annual benefit powwow. All are welcome. Anyone can go, and it's free to get in. And to those wondering about joining Westside, becoming a member is very straightforward. It simply requires signing our membership book. But while joining is easy, there are responsibilities of membership here. So if you're interested or have questions about our congregation or our beliefs, please ask one of the usher greeters or one of the many people who will greet you after the service. Now, for those of you joining us online today or visiting with us, if you're not already on our mailing list, please sign up by clicking the link at the bottom of our homepage at the westsideu.org website. And for those of you here in person, please take a moment to silence all your devices. And today, I'm so pleased to say our very own Daniel Melendez will present a homily about the eighth principle and will share some of his own experiences as a BIPOC, and that's someone who is Black, Indigenous, or a person of color. Daniel has been a UU for 19 years and previously was president of Arlington UU Church. He's been a member at Westside since 2019 and serves on the AV team and is a member of our eighth principle crew. Now, I invite you to take a deep breath. And from wherever you are, settle into the sacred space that we create and let us worship together as we listen to this morning's prelude, Love by Nat King Cole, played by Yuki Kumamoto. And, sorry. This was what was played by the Westside Band.
Shed a little light.
Yeah, so actually Shed a Little Light by James Taylor.
Well, there you go.
Jana, we can always just riff.
Hey, I may have been going off an old script.
Let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King and recognize that there are ties between us all men and women living on the earth, ties of hope and love, sister and brotherhood, that we are bound together in our desire to see the world become a place in which our children can grow free and strong. We are bound together by the task that stands before us and the road that lies ahead. We are bound, we are bound. There is a feeling like the clenching of a fist. There is a hunger in the center of the chest. There is a passage through the darkness and the mist. And though the body sleeps, the heart will never rest.
Shed a little light, oh
Shed a little light, oh Lord,
so that we can see.
oh now.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Wanna stand it on up,
Stand it on up, oh
stand it
Lord.
on up, oh Lord.
Yeah, now.
Wanna walk it on down,
Won't you shed a little
shed a
light?
little light, oh Lord.
You can't get no light from a dollar bill. You don't give me no light from a TV screen. No, 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 no.
When I open my eyes, I wanna drink my fill from the well on the hill.
There is a feeling like the clenching of a fist. There is a hunger in the center of the chest. There is a passage through the darkness and the mist. And though the body sleeps,
Heart will never rest. Shed a little light,
shed a little light, oh Lord.
so that we can see.
We can't see.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Wanna stand it on up,
Stand it on up,
stand it on up, oh Lord.
stand on up, Lord.
Wanna walk it on down,
Won't you shed a little
shed a little
light?
light, oh Lord.
Shed a little light, oh
Shed a little light,
Lord.
oh Lord.
Won't you shed a little light, oh Lord?
Shed a little light, oh Lord.
Won't you shed a little light?
Shed a little light.
Oh Lord.
Woo, I love a good surprise. Our opening words today are about deep listening and come from Adrienne Marie Brown's book, Emergent Strategy. The Sufi poet Hafiz said, "How do I listen to others? As if everyone were my teacher, speaking to me her cherished last words. I am listening now with all of my senses, as if the whole universe might exist just to teach me more about love. I listen to strangers. I listen to random invitations. I listen to criticisms. I listen to my body. I listen to my creativity and to the artists who inspire me. I listen to elders. I listen to my dreams and the books I am reading. I notice that the more I pay attention, the more I see order, clear messages, patterns, and invitations in the small or seemingly random things that happen in my life. In all these ways, I meditate on love. This practice lets me connect to the part of myself that is divine, aligned with the universe, and the place within myself where I can be a conduit for spiritual truth. I don't know what else to call it. What comes forth as lessons and realizations and beliefs doesn't feel political or even about organizing. It feels like spirit leading me to the truth. As do many Unitarian Universalist congregations, we begin our time together this morning with the lighting of our chalice. I invite Aidan Lyles to come forward and light our chalice this morning. The chalice is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith and represents the Unitarian Universalist Association, or UUA. The flaming chalice symbolizes the heritage of our past, the warmth of community, and the light of hope within this church today. The chalice lighting words today are, "Love can transform the world," by the Reverend Maureen Killer.
Love is the aspiration, the spirit that moves and inspired this faith that we share. Rightly understood, love can nurture our spirits and transform the world. May the flame of this chalice honor and embody the power and the blessing of the love we need, the love we give, and the love that we are challenged to always remember and to share.
Thank you, Aidan. Our opening hymn, hold on, let me make sure. Now I'm a little nervous. Yes, is number 95. There is more love somewhere in the gray hymnal. And please stand as you are able and join our song leader, Sue Spell.
Hi, good morning. So Yuki's going to play through this one time before we go through it, okay? We're going to do all verses, yes. Thank you for joining me.
please remain standing and join me in our affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to work for justice through action, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. You may be seated. Now, please come forward if you are young at heart or would like to have a close-up view for our Time for All Ages, presented by our outstanding Director of Lifespan Religious Education, Nikki Kennedy. And when we're finished, we will sing the kids out with the UU7 Principles song located in the very back of the gray hymnal.
And Jana didn't know this, but I've asked our equally amazing Children's Religious Education Committee chair to join me this morning.
So many surprises today. I love it.
I am excited to see you. Old friends and new friends, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So, this week was a special week for me. I had a niece that flew in from Ohio where she's going to college because she had a few days off. And I got to meet her, someone special in her life as well. But, but the best part was that I got to tell her how much I loved her. And it made me really think about what we're doing, what we're talking about today, and what this church, what this community wants and hopes for. So I've asked my friend, Miss Tricia, to join me today as we talk about this being a house of love. Did you know that love is a super huge deal in Unitarian Universalism? That wasn't very affirmative. Did you know love is a really big deal? Okay. I kind of thought most of you did, but because we just can't stop talking about it.
Love this, side with love that. Justice is what love looks like in public. We weren't the first ones to say that. Dr. Cornell West was. But we love it so much that we sing it back to the universe all the time.
Also, there's this dude, this scientist, a guy who asked all kinds of people, not just Unitarian Universalists, what they thought of love and how important it was for them. His name was Robert Miller, and it turns out that all kinds of groups that he studied, big and small, all over the place, whether religious or not, religious or not, UUs rank love as a core value more so than any others do.
I guess that means love really is a big deal for UUs.
It is, Tricia. I want you to remember that because we're going to come back to that, okay?
Okay.
Can you guys help Tricia remember that love is a big deal? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Another big deal for Unitarian Universalism is our principles. They're a big part of our covenant with each other.
We know they are a big deal because we have so very many ways to talk about them. To talk about them to make sure all the different brains and bodies and ages understand them. We have them in English.
We have them in Spanish.
You can see our principles in languages like Arabic and Thai.
And there's this way, which is a different way. It's like a language for kids.
All of those ways are focused on the 7 principles that we have. When Unitarian Universalists first came together in 1961, there was only 6 principles. So that's 1 hand and 1 finger. Our 7th principle was proposed in 1985, and it was added in 1987.
One way to imagine our principles was originally suggested by Reverend Barbara Wells Tunhove. It's called a keystone arch. And this is like a doorway that we can enter into this faith, what our faith calls us to do. Do you want to see a picture of it? Do you see it's kind of like a doorway?
I apologize, I didn't get a slide for it. But we'll put it in the weekly email so
Yeah,
you can see it.
you can come up and see later too. This is kind of our doorway.
It's kind of cool because when you look at the arch, the fourth principle, the free and responsible search for truth and meaning, is at the center, holding together the space for us between each individual's inherent worth, the needs of the great community of which we are a part. But do doorways or archways ever exist by themselves? Or are they just floating in the air?
No, they're not really floating around. They're usually stabilized to the ground, at least what I've seen, a part of a larger building or structure.
So maybe, just maybe, there really is a principle missing.
Just like we figured out 35 years ago when we decided that the seventh principle was missing, maybe the missing principle is the ground upon which the doorway is built.
Maybe it's the whole house of love we are always trying to create for ourselves, for each other, and for the world.
Maybe if we add an eighth principle, we get closer to the beloved community we dream about, where there is no oppression of any kind, where we can say Black Lives Matter, but we don't have to because they already do.
I want to be part of building this house of love. Do you? Do you? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you? Do you, Tricia?
I do. Do you, Nikki?
I do. I do. Will you guys all help us build this house of love? Will you help us? Yes. Okay.
That sounds good.
So my question is, I wonder all the ways each one of you are going to share your gifts and your talents and your bodies and your mind to help us build a beautiful house of love. I wonder, Miss Tricia, I wonder. I want you guys to have a great week. That's a fact. And thanks for being here with us today, everyone.
Thank you.
And I now invite Debbie Rake to come tell us our joys and concerns today.
Good morning. I'm Debbie Rake, and I'm your pastoral care associate this morning. In our community here at Westside, we make time each week to share pieces of our lives with one another. We do this because each person in this community has value. Submit your joys and concerns to the team by completing one of these orangey forms. They're out at the welcome desk. Or you can email us at pastoralcare@westsideu.org, or contact me, John Fisher, Carol Kappa, Barbara Crotty, Jane Hardwick, or Brenda McKean, who are the current members of the team. We share our concerns with one another today, knowing that sorrows come into each person's life, knowing that together we offer comfort. And I have one concern. Sharon Sela is still in the hospital. She finds having visitors very tiring. However, she does know that there are lots of good wishes coming her way. Let's keep it coming by way of voicemail messages. She does not text. Voicemail messages and cards. She and her family would be comforted to hear from us. We also share our joys with one another, knowing too that joy comes into all of our lives, knowing that together our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. We have one joy. It's from Becky. Could you raise your hand? Let everybody know who you are. Thank you. Becky wanted to thank everyone for being so welcoming to me and Munchkin. We make space each week for musical centering, knowing the life and experience of every person matters, and together our lights shine brighter. As we hold all these joys and concerns among us, both those spoken and unspoken, let us sing our centering song, 1009 in the Teal hymnal, When I Breathe In.
And we're going to go through this 3 times. The first time, let's go sing it together. And then the second time, if you want to add the descant, please do. Thank you.
And another little change today, Diane Austin could not be here today. She's okay though, everybody's okay, it's just cars. They have 2 cars down. So I am also one of the meditation leaders here, so it's gonna be me today. And we are actually gonna lead you through kind of a short but real meditation that we would do called a sitting meditation in our meditation group. It's a metta meditation. But it will begin with an introduction before we move into our minute of silence. And I'll still sound the bell to signal the start of your own meditation, prayer, or reflection, and it will sound again at the end. And our metta meditation today is adapted from a book called Radical Friendship by Kate Johnson, which the meditation groups actually read. Wow, now it's been a couple years ago, but we went through chapter by chapter. So the word metta from the Pali language is often translated as loving kindness. But we like Kate Johnson's translation of unconditional friendliness. Today, we will practice a version of metta meditation, which we use to cultivate our own unconditional friendliness. So we begin with ourselves, picturing ourselves either as we are now or at a moment in our lives when we radiated goodness and love. So it might be good, you might want to close your eyes and breathe in, breathe out. So relax, breathe, and hold this image of yourself in your mind as you silently offer yourself the following phrases. May I be safe and protected from inner and outer harm. May I be happy and peaceful in body, heart, and mind. May I be as healthy and strong as can be. May I live with ease. May I give and receive all the love that I need. And may I feel that love right now. Now imagine a person who is easy to love, perhaps a partner, close friend, or a benefactor, someone who has inspired or advocated for you. Feel what it's like to be in their presence. In your mind's eye, try to see yourself offering them the meta phrases like a beam of light from your heart to theirs. May you be safe and protected from inner and outer harm. May you be happy and peaceful in body, heart, and mind. May you be as healthy and strong as can be. May you live with ease. May you give and receive all the love that you need. And may you feel that love right now. Now bring to mind a person you may or may not know well, who you think of as different from you. Perhaps they differ in age or gender, race, religion, or even political beliefs. Before you offer the phrases to this person, consider their full life beyond their role in your life. This is undoubtedly someone who loves and is loved by others, who has known joy and sorrow, gain and loss, someone who, like all of us, just wants to be happy and not suffer. May you be safe and protected from inner and outer harm. May you be happy and peaceful in body, heart, and mind. May you be as strong and healthy as can be. May you live with ease. May you give and receive all the love that you need. And may you feel that love right now. And finally, the most generous heart we can aspire to grow is one that is able to love all beings, whether or not we know them, like them, or share identities or experiences or views with them. We finish the meta practice by inviting all beings everywhere into our mind's eye for a few moments, as far as our awareness can stretch. At this point, we turn meta into we phrases, opening our hearts to ourselves and everyone else with equal regard. May we all be safe and protected from inner and outer harm. May we all be happy and peaceful in body, heart, and mind. May we all be as healthy and strong as can be. May we all live with ease. May we all give and receive all the love that we need. And may we all feel that love right now. May we be good company to one another in our questions and our journey. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. Here at Westside, we practice our UU faith in a variety of ways. One of those ways is by giving 100% of gifts to our weekly collection, unless otherwise designated, to support organizations who carry out our transcendent values of compassion, justice, and equality. Westside's plate offering for February is Meals on Wheels of Tarrant County. Meals on Wheels' mission is to promote the dignity and independence of older adults, persons with disabilities, and others who are homebound by delivering nutritious meals and coordinating other needed services. Meals on Wheels of Tarrant County celebrated its 50th year in 2023 and serves all of Tarrant County, now providing more than 1 million meals each year. Westside member John Fisher is a Meals on Wheels client and graciously shared some thoughts for our 2021 Meals on Wheels offertory, saying that the meals are warm and delicious and that Meals on Wheels volunteers are as unfailing as U.S. Mail Service was when my father was a letter carrier. And just a little side note, Meals on Wheels has volunteer openings, and a link is in our weekly newsletter showing open routes. When the pandemic hit in 2020, Meals on Wheels took on more clients than ever. Thanks to the CARES Act, it was able to sustain its meals service as it has for 50 years. As most of us know, CARES funding has ended, and though some pandemic-era clients have resumed their lives without Meals on Wheels, many have not. So with a shortfall of about $2 million, Meals on Wheels had to make a decision. They did not want to create a waiting list as Dallas County has done, but rather reduce the number of breakfasts that they provide each week alongside the daily hot lunches. Still, as John said in 2021, Meals on Wheels does life-saving work, and indeed it does. Please give generously as you are able, and thank you. Give online through the church's giving page or by using the Venco mobile app. Select the Service Project Fund, and you can also mail a check to the church. Thank you for your offering. And the offertory song today is Love is My Religion by Ziggy Marley and performed by the Westside Band. I now invite Sue Anderson to do a reading today before I invite Daniel up to do our reflection. But Sue is a member of she's leads the membership committee, and she's also a member of the 8th Principal crew, and she's part of meditation and a lot of things. Sue Anderson. And she works in the garden.
Okay, this is a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King that he said at the 1966 UUA General Assembly. One of the great misfortunes of history is that all too many individuals and institutions find themselves in a great period of change and yet fail to achieve the new attitudes and outlooks that the new situation demands. There is nothing more tragic than to sleep through a revolution. And there can be no denying of the fact that a social revolution is taking place in our world today.
Good morning. It is so good to see everyone here today, both in person and online, on this last weekend of Black History Month. And too many times we go without recognizing Gerald Thompson over there, who passes out our leaflets. So I wanted to give him a mention. I'm Daniel Melendez, and I'm currently a member here at Westside UU, and I thank you so much for allowing me to speak with you guys today. I first walked into a UU church in 2005, and I've been coming back ever since. Once, while visiting Westside in the past, I was speaking with Russell, Reverend Dr. Russell Evelyn, our pastor emeritus, our Reverend Emeritus, back when Westside was thinking about moving, either buying or building a new church. And I expressed how I could guess where they're looking for the new place. And I told him I know exactly the best place for this church to look for a place, and that would be 1 block east. And he said, "Why is that?" I said, 2 reasons. First and foremost, that's where the need is greatest. Secondly, I bet you can get land a lot less expensive on Hemphill than you can getting closer to the Hewlin Mall back there. He smiled real big, and then he asked me, "You know what you are?" And I said, "Nope." He says, "You're a UU troubadour." And that's when I realized I love UU. We both got a little chuckle out of it, and I kind of felt proud of it, but it was a little scary too, because I don't give of myself or my loyalties freely. I give them, easily. I give of myself willingly and freely, but not easily. I cut my teeth, UU teeth, right here at Arlington UU, and when I was a baby UU, I always looked up to Westside. I always thought of it as the UU beacon in Tarrant County. But as Reverend Sherry Woodbury put it in her Spiritual Journey blog, she wrote, "Westside UU is a beacon of liberal religion in North Texas." So she took it a little further than I did. As I was growing up, I thought to myself, when I grow up to be an adult UU, I want to be like the UUs I see at Westside UU. I want to belong to a church like Westside UU. I would watch the Westsiders come to the Intook annual awards banquet en masse. They would take up about 2 tables, and many of them accepted awards for the various volunteer work, both in the congregation and outside the congregation. I've always found Westsiders to be authentically kind and very welcoming. I always felt at home with Westside UU members. But recently I've become disenchanted with Unitarian Universalists, disillusioned with the association and congregations as well. I was in a mental and spiritual rut. I even thought about no longer attending church anymore. But where else could I go that offers a liberal search for truth and meaning and for my own spiritual growth? With all the problems I watch unfold at the national level, racist hiring practices, unexpected retiring of the then UUA president, this eighth principle thingy, the Article 2 Commission reports, what is going on? This isn't the UU I've grown to know. It seemed all a little bit too much to take in. Plus, I came to Westside to retire, to kick up my UU feet, so to speak, and enjoy the comforts of a full-time minister and ready myself to pass this legacy on to the next generation. I'm tired, boss. But after looking into the Eighth Principle Project and the Article 2 Commission report results, the more I found that things are changing. I feel changing for the better. It seems the UUA is taking steps to correct its past missteps and are taking corrective measures with a plan forward with the results of the Article 2 Commission findings. So what is the Eighth Principle and how did it get started? The Eighth Principle is a grassroots movement or effort that started sometime in 2013 with Dr. Paula Cole-Jones, a lifelong UU, Director of Racial and Social Justice Work at the former Joseph Priestley District. She, with her over 15 years of experience working with congregations in this field, developed the idea that there exists two paradigms in UU circles, the UU 7 principles and the beloved community, deep multiculturalism. She came to realize that an eighth principle is needed to correct this. So along with Reverend Bruce Pollock Johnson and a group of anti-racist activists in the former Joseph Priestley District, they worked together to compose and refine wording for an eighth principle. And that's what brings us to today's conversation. Excuse me. There we go. So let's take a look at the eighth principle in its current form. Journeying towards spiritual wholeness by working to build a multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and in our institutions. You may be surprised to hear, but the mere mention of the eighth principle has quite an effect on some people. It makes some people uncomfortable, while it makes some people comfortable. And it's a subject that's been on my mind as of late. Some may query, why an eighth principle? I posit, why not? Unitarian Universalism is a living tradition. There are no immaculate revelations. Nothing is set in stone. Yet others may ask, why the eighth principle and not something else? Sure, great. What else? I see nothing else coming in. Still others may ask, why a principle? Well, maybe because as a BIPOC person, I'm sure Dr. Cole-Jones may know, as many of us now living may never see the fruits of our labor. So with the eighth principle, that gives us the hope that Dr. Martin Luther King offers in his quote when he says, "The arc of the moral justice is long, but it always bends towards justice." Some have even gone as far as to say that this is cancel culture. This comment from UUs. We all know where this language comes from. I don't see it as cancel culture, but rather as a cultural shift from a culture of perpetuating hate and negativity to a culture that promotes a deeper love and positivity. Our BIPOC UU brothers and sisters are lovingly asking us to journey with them hand in hand, so to speak, towards a deeper spiritual practice of love. Some are even afraid of the word accountability found in the 8th principle. I don't understand that. We already hold each other accountable to the 7th principles, don't we? Or do we? Hopefully, we'll hold ourselves accountable to our local congregational covenant. Congregations that don't hold themselves or their members accountable for their actions continue to be that same sad, sick little congregation that no one knows exists. Either that or they just die away. I fear to think that people will be afraid of the 8th principle out of the fact of its mere genius, and I don't dare think that they're afraid of it because it's the genius of a black woman. And some detractors would even go as far as saying that this is some sort of a maniacal or sinister or nefarious plot for the UUA to take over the congregations. But it's not. It is a grassroots movement, not a UUA push. I feel the introduction of the 8th principle was born of love. It was born out of a deeper love for Unitarian Universalism and its members. Our BIPOC brothers and sisters are asking us to hold each other accountable to a deeper love found in the 8th principle. Let's take a short break and listen to this song by Leah Morris. It's her version of song number 134, Ours is One World. Can you play that for us?
Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rain that falls. Our world is one. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make, a bridge or wall. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The ways we spend, the ways we share, who are the rich and poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call. This is all of our world, all of our words, all of our words. Yes, this is all of our words, all of our words, it's all of our words. This is all of our words.
I don't know. Maybe we need a different perspective. I always heard, you gotta have thick skin to be a you. And I always wondered why. We're you. We are all you. It shouldn't have to be that way. Well, I always say you have to have thicker skin if you're a BIPOC you. All UUs, regardless of race, identities, abilities, and so forth, have to put up with living in this tired old world. And sometimes our UU churches and our UU congregations are our only reprieve from that nasty old world. A place where we can be free to be who we are. Let our hair down, let our hair out, let our hair up, however we want, hair or no hair. A place where we can just be, to be our authentic self, But this isn't always having been true for our BIPOC UU brothers and sisters. Compounded by a system geared against us at every turn, BIPOC people experience racism of some sort 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day of the week, from the time we born to the time we die. If our BIPOC UU brothers and sisters can't come to our UU churches or our UU organizations to get relief from this old world, where can we go? I've heard some BIPOC UU brothers and sisters lament, why don't I see other people who are like me in the UU church? And we always hear of the predominantly white congregations that say, why can't we get BIPOC people here to come and to stay? One time when I was at Pathways, I was an associate worship leader, and we had invited Bob Ray Sanders to come and give us a speech. And it was Black History Month, so you know we were getting good if you can get Bob Ray Sanders to clear his schedule to come talk to us. And we had, everything laid out just right. Our first song was the Black National Anthem, the 149, Lift Every Voice and Sing. I think we sang that last week. And then, of course, we had all the Martin Luther King Jr. quotes in there, kind of like we did today. And then we ended with song number 169. In our hymn book also, We Shall Overcome, with a full audience of white people, with the exception of myself and Miss Ruby. And then we were crying and stuff. And then Bob Ray, before he took off, he kind of turned his head like that. And if you know Bob Ray, and he stops to think like that, he's going to give you a literary treat. And when he always gives a speech, he never has any notes or any papers or anything. And even when he gives you a literary treat that I'm about to speak about, he does it right off the top of his head. Because he looked at us, he says, I'm going to read this to y'all, and I don't think any of y'all will get it. He pointed at me, he's like, you might get it. The rest of you guys won't. So this is the quote that he gave to us. It is called 1,868 Winters by Jackie Early, and it's played by Alicia Brown Eyes Reader on this video, if you can play the video.
1,968 Winters by Jackie Early. Got up this morning feeling good and black, thinking black thoughts, did black things, played all my black records, and minded my own black business. Put on my best black clothes, walked out my black door, and Lord have mercy, white snow. When I first read this photo, I just died. It was so funny to me. But as I was doing my research, I found out a lot of people actually do it during Black History Month, because you can put so many inflections and acting and just have a good time with the poem and really make it your own. And so a little bit of information I found out about the poet. Even her bio has a lot of wordplay. She says she was born to that slave name of Jacqueline Early during the 20th century. She grew up in Cambridge, Ohio. She has some college, some high school, some grade school. And so that's her. That was about the most I could find about her. And I just enjoyed the poem. And when you see 1,968, it comes out, written as 1968. And that was a very pivotal year for Black history. It was the year that Dr. King was killed. It was the year of many riots. And so it's a pivotal month. It's a pivotal year. And I really like the way she displayed how Blackness can be positive and it's a part of our lives, but at the same time, in a comical way, she shows that even how much we surround ourselves with the Blackness that we are, we're still going to confront the white. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts.
Thank you. So as you can see, it's systemic. And I like it. I love it when you tell UUs, oh, it's systemic. And they're like, yeah, it's systemic out there in that mean old world. No, it's systemic in here. It's systemic in our institutions and ourselves as well. After reading about the Eighth Principle Project and the Article 2 Commission report findings, I learned that our BIPOC UU brothers and sisters have experienced, and still experience racism. With the walkout in 1969 UUGA by the Black Affair Councils, BIPOC UU ministers, BIPOC religious professionals, BIPOC lay leaders, and so on are the targets of racism in some form. I used to wonder why there were so many UU affinity groups like Black Lives UU and Drum and the like. And I always thought to myself, we're UU. Now I understand why. One local BIPOC member lamented, why do I have to go to all these affinity groups? Why can't I just come to church like normal? We're UU. This is UU. This shouldn't be happening in UU. Okay, you may say, not that it matters, you may say, oh, that's in the past, and that's up north, and that's not very rampant and stuff like that, and those are isolated cases, but they're not. They're not just in the past, they're prevalent, widespread, and rampant. Okay, you want to bring it even more local? How about Tarrant County? One time I was, whenever they had the NTOOC seminars that they used to have, and I would volunteer to make coffee because I make coffee. So one time I was at one of those seminars, and it was time for me to get out of the class early and go to the kitchen and make coffee. And when I was on my way into the kitchen, I saw a BIPOC member coming out, and they were in tears, and they were saying stuff like racist and racism. And I thought to myself, well, let's go take care of it. And they cried and said, no, don't. This is my church. I have kids, and this is all we know. And I said, I know, but it's not right. And they begged me, please, don't say anything. So because of that, I didn't. And also, here in Tarrant County, there was a board president that just finally got tired of all the stuff that they was putting up with, using terms like racism, whatever. He just quit, or they just quit, and I don't even think they come back to UU anymore. And if that's not even close enough to home, how about me? You guys know me. I have put up with racist remarks, racism and classist remarks in UU settings, in UU churches, but I can honestly say I haven't had to have any of that, or haven't ran into that or experienced that here at Westside yet. Because as a BIPOC person, it's just a matter of when. And maybe in the past, I always thought to myself, well, I expected it, because that's what BIPOC people expect all the time. And this is one thing that the Eighth Principle is hoping to get rid of. So if you haven't deduced by now that the answer to the question to whether the first 7 principles are good enough or enough for us, our BIPOC UU brothers and sisters are lovingly answer no. The first through 7th principles haven't proven to be enough. What's that sound? Do you guys hear it? That's our BIPOC UU brothers and sisters saying, I can't breathe. So, Westside, let's continue to be the beacon of liberal religion in North Texas. And since love is the doctrine of the church, I ask that we consider adopting the 8th principle as an act of love. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so.
Daniel was afraid he'd cry. Please stand as you are able and join in the closing hymn, number 1017. In the teal hymnal, Building a New Way, we'll sing verses 1, 2, and 3. Our closing words today are by Martin Luther King Jr. from 1957. Love is creative and redemptive. Love builds up and unites. Hate tears down and destroys. The aftermath of the fight with fire method, which you suggest, is bitterness and chaos. The aftermath of the love method is reconciliation and creation of the beloved community. Physical force can repress, restrain, coerce, destroy, but it cannot create and organize anything permanent. Only love can do that. Yes, love, which means understanding, creative, redemptive goodwill, even for one's enemies, is the solution to the race problem. The chalice is now extinguished, but its light lives on in the minds and hearts and souls of each one of you. Carry that flame with you as you leave this place and share it with those you know, with those you love, and most especially with those you have yet to meet. And I'm going to do the congregational closing, and then I have just 2 more words to say. I have just one final announcement after we do the congregational closing. But it's quick. And now join me in the congregational closing. Go in peace, seeking justice. Go in peace, committed to equal rights and opportunities for all. Go in the peace that is created when together we build communities of true solidarity, deep compassion, and fierce, unrelenting love. Go in peace. May it be so, blessed be, and amen. And actually, I fibbed a little. I have 2 closing announcements. So now that the 8th Principle crew has presented several opportunities for congregants to learn more about the 8th Principle, we're offering a quick 2-question straw poll. It is on this green piece of paper in your order of service. It is anonymous, and there are pencils available on the white marble table in the back, or I think actually people are passing them out too. I see that. So please just feel free to leave your survey in the back or with folks walking around, usher greeters, or the 8th Principle crew will pick them up. And next Sunday, March 3rd, Lon Burnham, former Texas State Rep and longtime political activist and member of the Greater Fort Worth Sierra Club, the NAACP, and the Fort Worth Good Trouble Club, among many others, will join us right here in the pulpit. So I hope to see you there. Thank y'all. Thank you. And fill out your straw poll.